Welcome back, everybody, to D&D Ragebait.
Got you.
Got you. David's internet is rage baiting today.
Sadly.
Sadly.
What's the company?
AT&T. I can't recommend them not enough.
And we'll leave it at that.
That's a thinker.
I'm Cam.
I can recommend them enough. Maybe that's what I meant.
There's no DM today because this is takes. So I'm just Cam. And with me is David. For now.
Do you like, I'm going to move my mouth and then you put audio over it to really emphasize the lag?
See, I would if your mouth was even moving.
No, I mean, I'm going to start moving my mouth now. Cut it for time.
No, I know what you're saying, but it's frozen. So it doesn't look like your mouth is really even moving.
It looks like a GIF from 2008.
Or like a puppet.
Yeah, there you go.
And I'm also here with Paris.
Hi, I'm just Paris.
And I'm here with Woolsey.
Just Woolsey.
Just Woolsey.
That's it today.
That's it today. And we're not going to do our normal game that we do.
What?
Because David's going first, no matter what.
We could pretend.
All right, let's pretend.
For magic.
I'm holding up a number 1 through 4. David. And then add 2.
It's 2.
But then add 2.
This is so
it
magical.
was 4.
Remember that game?
I didn't
Remember
get a
that game?
chance.
What did we go? Chopsticks.
Chopsticks.
I hate that game.
Comments if it was called Chopsticks. Yeah.
I had to remember, and then I used to just have to tell people what I had, but I could cheat very easily.
That's a lot to keep up with. 'Cause
Yeah,
there's
it
a lot
is.
of like changing.
I cheated a
It's
lot.
not fair for the opponent.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Wow, we need to make a compilation of all of the hand jokes that Paris has made.
Yeah.
Plenty. I did
anyway.
the same thing with rock, paper, scissors. I would like make people
You would just
feel
say
bad
whatever it
and
was.
use my left wrist, and I was like, "No, you have to let me." And then I just tell them what I wanted it to be.
Rage baiting.
Kind of evil.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Paris has been rage baiting from a young age.
Yeah, since 5 years old.
David. Well, and this D&D Rage Bait is just where we give D&D hot takes.
Yes.
That's all. That's all it is. And David's up first.
So we'll probably post a TikTok over this as some sort of preface, but I shout out to level 20 DM. This is where I got
Shout
the
out Level 20
inspiration.
DM, our favorite TikToker.
Basically, a lot of his content centers around people making very meta builds that end up with like ridiculous capabilities or like being able to roll 50 dice for 1,000 damage in a turn. And my take, I guess I don't know how to articulate it concisely. If somebody like, I think meta building is like a negative. It's a poor way to play the game. And I would go so far as to just like walk out or cause physical harm to somebody if I was in a game that it was occurring.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm coming at this from someone on the very opposite end. Those are clearly very experienced players if you're capable of doing that. But I think it just detracts from like if you set out to build a character and you're just trying to get to one point where you can do like one move that is so overpowered, you're not allowing like a story to happen. And I think I was comparing it to kind of like two different video games. One was Skyrim, which I played a lot, and I think it kind of follows some classic like D&D sort of themes. And there'd be so many videos where like you drink a potion of smithing and then you can like upgrade this armor and then you use that armor to upgrade this weapon and then you can one hit everybody in the game. And it makes it for a cool video and like you can do it for 5 minutes, but then you just walk around and the game's nothing. I'm like, what's the point? So yeah, that's my take. Is that, and also just I don't think all games are meant to be meta'd. Like
Ooh.
you don't need to solve games. We've solved too many games, which is away from D&D. That's maybe the wider take is like stop trying to solve games and just play the game. So yeah, there's my take.
I think that this is a hot take as far as
Is it?
well, it's contentious. I think it's a contentious topic.
Maybe it depends on the group you're playing with for sure.
Yeah, but I'm curious to hear what everyone has to say.
I think it falls into a bigger category of what I'm going to call the people that do that. It's almost like there's a subcategory of D&D players that want it to be a video game.
Yeah.
And so like you're saying with Skyrim, it's like they want to loot. They want to keep track of their gold. They want the best gear. They want magic
XP.
items. They want XP. They are begging their DM for magic items. And if that is fun for your entire party, and that's like fun for everyone, or even not your entire party, and the DM just makes room for you for that to be fun for you, and everyone's cool with it, that's great. But you can't win D&D at the end of the day. So if you are like, just imagine like you have this one build that could do this one move, and you're finally level 20, and you're so excited to do it, and you're a member of your party is dying on the floor. Like,
yeah,
are you going to do the move, or are you going to save them and help the story?
At
Like,
what cost? Yeah.
I know that the majority of us prefer, I think, the role play and the talking in between battles to the battles themselves. The fighting is still really fun, but it's the role play within the battle too that we all enjoy in building the story. So I think that it's total like video game energy that brings to it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also like I see the other side for sure.
I think there's one,
Yeah.
I agree
Oh, go ahead.
1,000% with David, but I think there's one exception. I think that, and I guess it doesn't even really count because it's relative to the world, but Brennan talks about how like if you're going to have like a slapstick game and your characters are going to do like silly stuff, then like that needs to be consistent in your world. So I think if there's a campaign where like you're all like different gods or something and you're playing at a really high level and the characters that are playing to match are at a high level, I think that's really fun because you can do these big moves, but still there's a cost or some sort of thing at risk. But I just can't imagine a world where it's fun to just like there's no why even roll dice. Like I feel like D&D like foundationally one thing you can't, even though last time my take was to get rid of one of the dice, you still need, I think foundationally you need dice in D&D, and if you get to that point, like why even roll? So I think as long as if it's relative to the world and like you're playing this really strong character and your whole party are there and they're playing with like really strong like beasts or things that they're competing against, I think that's fun for some people, but I don't think it's fun to just like insta kill.
Then it comes down to like, is it one player's responsibility to adhere to like is it the job of the players to create like a uniform like vibe, or is it the job of the DM to like cater to different players and what they like? You know what I mean?
I just another Brennan thing I heard was that he talked about on Adventuring Academy how he thinks the most important role of the DM is guiding his characters or his players through character creation, and how he knows for the world he builds what will be fun for them to play. And so while you want people to have like the freedom, it's a collaborative story, you also want to make sure that like they'll have fun playing the character they're going to play. So I think there's like a give and a take there.
Yeah.
Woolsey, to your point that you made, like every video, like they're all in reference to combat, which I think we spoke on the last takes is my least favorite part of the game. So I would just like not appreciate somebody doing that. And like when I joined the Apostles playthrough, I think it was, if y'all were doing that, there's no shot I would have picked up D&D. I would have been like, hey, thanks. Like I had a fun few times and I would have never played D&D with y'all again.
I think that this is a bit of an echo chamber. Like I think if Tanner was on, then he would have a different opinion. I think all of us appreciate like the story aspect of D&D more. And I agree that like meta building is not for me. Like I barely even think about my stats when I make a character.
Yeah.
Like I think about it a little bit. Like if I'm making a paladin or like a paladin, like intelligence isn't going to be my highest score. Like a score that doesn't matter isn't going to be my highest score.
Yeah.
Like I want
It's
to still
fun
be
to
able to do
roll
things.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I'm not. I think about like, okay, if I'm a paladin that like is also a gymnast, then I'm gonna make like dexterity my second highest score or whatever. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I
take
feel
in
like
context of building your character.
yeah, like the backstory is more important than the than the um than the stats and like what and like the mechanics. Because like at that point, yeah, just go play a video game with like set rules. But
Mhm.
that's my opinion. But at the same time, I feel like D&D is cool because anybody can play it. Like it has something for like anybody, I think. Like if there's a group of people who want to get together and just like play a math game, then you can.
Yeah. I think to your point about like, should the DM have to cater? Like a lot of times in those videos, and I know it's a skit, but like the person is out to outsmart the DM. And
Yeah.
I feel like it would just be very unenjoyable if you have, four people who are trying to just play like a fun story-driven game and the DM's trying to cater and the person's going out of their way to be like, no, like this roadblock you tried to put in my way to make it a little harder didn't work because of this.
Yeah.
That just I would not have a fun time as one of the casuals.
Yeah. I think there's a line there between like number one, I think that there are DMs who like there are some groups who's like it's like the DM is playing against the players and the players are playing against the DM. Like some DMs like to like try their hardest to kill their players.
Yeah.
Which I think falls more into like the video game side of things. I don't even know if David can hear me because he's frozen.
I'm frozen, aren't I? I'm very I can hear you.
There you are. Did you
boy.
hear what I said?
Yeah.
But I think me and like I feel like Woolsey and Paris as well. Like I don't get joy in like having my characters go or my players go down. Like I feel anxious about it and I don't want them to die.
Yeah.
I had another point, but I can't remember what it was gonna be.
What are we recording right after this?
Well, I feel like
it's different.
Yeah.
But that's the point, right? It's going to be more like video gamey, and that's
And
Tanner's.
we
like,
all know that Total Party Kill, like that is the
What it's
vibe, and we're
for.
going into it, and we are gonna die a bunch. But he does a good job of making it a puzzle.
But if that was it every week, like I don't think we would like.
I'm gonna
have
have
latched
to
onto
call it.
D&D.
It turns out that I do have a hotspot limit to where they slow down my internet speed, so I'm gonna have to call it after this take, I think. So I can use this for work.
Yeah, no, that happened to me
Let's
too
click you around.
when I moved before I got my Wi-Fi. Was like I ran out of hotspot so fast. That's what I was worried about. I agree with David on a personal level.
Agree.
Yeah, agree.
But I think that if you're in a group that likes to do it, then that's fine.
Yes.
No,
But I
It's a
don't-
good
rage
asterisk.
bait. We rage bait for the engagement.
True.
You
If
have
you
to
do
play
that,
our
I'm going
way.
to cause physical harm to you. I know. It's great
Bye,
seeing you.
David.
Okay,
See ya.
they're just taking away his internet on purpose.
And David's been flagged by the FBI. That's why he's down. That's why he's out of the call.
Banned from Zoom.
Okay. I have 3 numbers. They could be any digit, 1 through 10. Okay, let's do it this way. I'm thinking of 3 numbers, and if you guess any of the 3 numbers, then you go next.
Within 10?
No, it's 1 through 10. So the 3 numbers are within 1 and 10.
Okay.
Paris, guess 1 number.
1.
Okay, we'll see.
6.
My numbers were 7, 8, and 1.
Oh, yes.
Paris can go next.
Okay.
No.
I have like a mild level of my take, and then I have like a spicier layer.
Cool.
So my mild take is that first time players, their first game should be homebrewed.
Like instead of like out of
Instead of from the book
module.
or like
Okay,
a guide. because when we got hooked on D&D from like listening to podcasts and watching other people play. And then I tried, before I DM'd for our crew, I tried DMing just for Austin from like a given module, like from the D&D like box. They have like one game you can play.
Yeah.
And I thought it was like fine, but I was like decently bored. And I think those modules can be really cool and can create really cool worlds when you've played more. But I think that if you're trying to get someone hooked on a campaign, having the freedom with homebrew to create a world that you know like a new player would be passionate about, or have like things in there that they would be passionate about, I think you also have more freedom to like slowly roll out different concepts of the game. And so I think that it's more likely, if you want a player to play again, I think it's the best way to get them to play again if you homebrew. That makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. What's your spicy version?
My spicy version is that while I appreciate and enjoy maps, I think that the first time people play D&D, they should not have maps. I think they can have X's on squares, but I think what is so cool about D&D is like the just being able to imagine. And in general, I feel this way when I see like, I think it's really cool when people like have these crazy D&D rooms and all these miniatures and things like that. But I think that should definitely come like later in your D&D career. And I think early, like building your imagination and ability to just have fun with nothing to look at is really important. That's my spicier level.
I could be wrong about this, but I think that there are some like D&D podcasts that have been around for years that like play with no maps at all.
I believe it.
For sure.
I think I see the, like, I think our first time we played, like as a group, we didn't use a map. We had a visual, but I don't think I like moved the characters at all or anything. Or maybe I did, but not for combat.
Yeah, no, it was just like, you just had like different areas of like the fair, and you like moved us to what area we were in. But like when we got into combat, we didn't like move around on squares or anything like that.
Yeah, and I see like the importance of like being able to keep track, especially as a new player, if like that's the take, like new players knowing where they are. But I think like X's on squares is like all you should give for a first time player.
When I first heard the spicier take, I disagreed. And then the more I think about it, especially with the idea of it being the first time you're playing, I think that it helps a new player get that this is not a board game, and it's a storytelling game. So it's kind of ties into the last thing. It's like, I see what you're getting at, that it helps more like you visualize the story in your head. And then your less spicy take was the homebrew, which I've tried whenever I was gonna DM something. I was like, okay, I haven't really looked at any modules. I'm gonna follow a module. I don't have a lot of time. And I just couldn't do it. It was just a lot of research. It ended up feeling easier to write my own thing. And I think that the passion comes through more when you write it yourself. Yeah. Rather than editing someone else's thing. And also the way that, to your point of like first time players, the way to bring them in is to totally ignore the verbiage and tone of the D&D books is so like, this is epic, it's super cool. And it's like, no one really plays like that I'm aware. Yeah. Like a lot of people, I'm sure they do, but also like they kind of like to like goof around and get in bar fights and things like that. Yeah. And so I think that the passion of writing your own homebrew story will come through and connect more with new players. But there's a lot of cool modules. Like I really want to do Strahd one day. What's the 3 dragons one? I feel the colorful dragons one or whatever I've basically seen now with Vox Machina. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But, I think that it's like, I've never done a module before, I was thinking about doing it eventually, like at some point. Like I might do like a campaign for like newer players, like locally. And I was thinking about doing a module, but just like thinking, because I was like, oh, it'll be less work. But it sounds like more work.
Yeah.
It sounds like I have to like memorize a textbook and like figure out all these characters and like what happens if this person does this. And like I feel like it'll be a worse playing experience because I'll have to like be looking through the book to see what happens instead of just like feeling like I can make it up on my own.
Yeah.
And I feel like I think that people go into it because they think it'll be easier to do it this way.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like, and I haven't done it, so I can't say this for certain, but I feel like it wouldn't be.
I think it's hard because you actually like have to almost say no sometimes. Because if you go too far, that's what happened when we played. And I was like, well, Austin, you can't do that because there's not like even an option for like. Yeah. So I think if you play with people who maybe like to be by the book that are pretty, but I just don't, that's not my experience playing D&D like with anyone we've played with. It's always been like, I don't know, pretty crazy things.
I feel like it might come down to people being afraid to like be creative in front of other people, like people being afraid of like number one thinking that it's harder than it is to like just write like D&D. You don't even have to really write anything, you just have to like outline a scenario. That's it. And then like you can figure like I think people need to give themselves more credit for like the creative capacity that they have.
I think we can all like relate to finishing like a session, like DMing a session and like being like, I've said to Austin a million times and you've said to me before too, like, was that fun? It's like, I think you have a good point about like, there's a nervousness about, is what I'm writing just fun for me or are like other people gonna enjoy it?
Yeah. And I think that there's nothing, at least for me, there's nothing more satisfying than like feeling like people are resonating with what you wrote or like the situation that you created. And I feel like you wouldn't get that from
you're going to feel like you've messed up if you miss something. Right. And it shouldn't feel like that. It should feel like, oh, I'm rewriting it this way. Yeah. I was first like not on board with either of those, mild or spicy, and it totally makes sense. I'm totally on board now.
And that is like privilege speaking because like not everyone has access to like people who are, I feel like all of us have been willing to like write our own things.
Yeah,
true.
But like that is hard to like. So if you are waiting to play, I don't think you should wait to play homebrew. But I think that's a good way to start.
I'll clip this and send this to D&D. Do they have like is it a company?
They comment on things. It might be under Wizards of the Coast, but they comment on things.
This will be an ad for them.
Yeah.
The pair is saying, if you're waiting to play, don't.
But don't buy the modules. Write your own shit because the modules are dumb.
And use paper.
But
don't
genuinely,
use D&D Beyond.
It could be free. You could never spend a dime on any D&D thing ever.
Totally.
And play.
Yeah, it kind of makes me chuckle when like people say, chuckle's a bad word. It makes me laugh when people say that.
Why?
It's like an expensive, I don't know, I don't like it. It's an expensive hobby because I don't really feel like, I feel like it's one of the most accessible things you can play.
It's so accessible.
Magic is like an expensive hobby because like you have to have
Warhammer, cards.
Yeah, but like D&D, you don't really have to have anything.
Yeah.
Except for my 30 elf ear pairs.
Right. Yeah. No, I feel like the people who say like D&D is an expensive hobby are also like addicted to sports gambling.
There's a big crossover there.
Yeah. I agree with the mild take. I'm hesitant on the spicy take. Woolsey, you agree on the spicy take?
I'd rather be an O than an X on the board.
Mm.
But other than that, I agree.
X's are offense and O's are defense typically, right? Or is it the other way around?
I wouldn't
I have
know.
no idea.
Sports
The sports
gambler.
thing?
Me? I
Here's my thought to help prove it.
okay.
I think you easily fall into habits of roles and ways that you play, and it can be hard to break those until you have a new character sometimes, or even like a different DM to like break certain habits that you build as a player. And I think if you establish the habit early on of describing interesting combat instead of relying on a map to have the interest, I think there's more room for you to say like, is there a rope? I swing from a rope that I find instead of seeing there's no rope on the map and just choosing not to do that. Like you'll be more likely to like try things.
Yeah.
That's my campaign.
I strongly considered for our podcast campaign not doing maps because I felt like it would eliminate any possibility of us being like, I attack the person at the top of the screen. Like, or like me, like sometimes I forget and I'm like, you want to go here? Like, I'll put you here. Like that doesn't, like for a listener, that doesn't make any sense. So I am going to agree with both takes.
Yay.
Because I think that you swayed me very positively with your last argument.
Yeah, very convincing. You kind of swayed both of us.
Woohoo.
Excellent. Well, Woolsey, I'm gonna just go
I'll think
next.
of a number.
No,
I've got a number.
my take is a nice segue because it's quite related to Paris's take. Is that okay?
Pick a number, bitch.
No.
I'll do it. I'll win.
I've got the number. I've
right.
got the number.
Is it? What are the parameters?
1 to 1,000 first to
No
get it.
parameters.
It's got to be on your hand, on a hand.
3.
2.
No.
0.
Well, I don't know
No,
if
go
that's
with Cameron's.
on a
Go with
hand.
Cameron's. This is a good segue. It
My
is on a
take
hand.
is this. New players, that's the segue because one of Paris's takes was about new players.
Weasel
Both of
that
Paris's
in.
takes were about new players.
Mhm.
New players should not play fighter, barbarian, melee characters. I feel like that is misguided when people are like, new players shouldn't play spellcasters because they're too complicated.
Hmm.
I strongly disagree. Because they get bored.
Mhm.
I think like unless you're like super like I'm gonna play D&D to role play, which like I feel like not that many people do. Like they're also interested in like the combat or like puzzles or whatever. I think that if you play a melee character, especially like a low level one, you can't really do much other than just like swing your weapon, even outside of combat. Like if you come up against like a non-combat obstacle, you can't contribute in any real meaningful way. And that's my take. And it's partially inspired by David because he hated playing a monk. And then once he started
That's a
playing a
tough
bard,
first
his
one.
whole like relationship with D&D changed.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I've never thought about this before. My first D&D character was a wizard, and the first thing that freaking trips up wizards has to be every time is magic missile. Because I'm like, what does it like mean? Does it hit or does it not hit?
Yeah.
How does that work? I'm just learning my spells. I think that there's probably a happy medium where it is a bard or a paladin, or even like, I don't know,
I think druids
a
are
rogue can do more. Druid, middle magic,
Yeah.
where you have some spells, but it's not your whole thing. Wizard is just like, you can get so crazy in the weeds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
That's
I think
fair.
it's a little overwhelming, but I think that I agree with your take, but maybe choose a paladin or choose a bard. Bard is probably a perfect one. You learn how to help out your team. Bardic inspiration is great.
I do think there's some pressure role playing wise with bard though. Like I think you've got to be pretty like comfortable with the people you're like bard. I feel like just thinking like I would feel like nervous about playing a bard and what that might look like role playing if it was like my first time playing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's fair, but I think that I think that D&D does a good job of saying like bards don't necessarily have to sing.
That's true.
Like
You
they
had a
could
gong.
play an instrument. Yeah, I had a gong.
that you
Or
missed.
College of Swords, you can like
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
dance and
I would almost go as far to say that like it's harder in certain ways to play fighters. And so like I agree. I do think that my first time playing like as a player and not DMing I was a barbarian, but I think and I thought, like when you first said that I was like, "Oh, I loved playing barbarian." I felt like it was so fun. It like took some pressure off just knowing that like I knew what was strong, but I also think that like the barbarian I played had like other flavor because I was an ent. So like I had some cool things out of combat that I could do, like talking with the grass and stuff. So I think that if you're gonna
super
be,
cool.
it was so cool.
It was so broken, to be honest.
it was
Like
so broken.
every time you were like, I want to talk to this blade of grass. I was like, I completely forgot you could do that, and it kind of ruins this encounter.
You
Not
didn't even
ruin
use a
it, but
spell
it's like,
slot. It was just you were a plant, so you could speak with
Yeah.
plants.
It was so
It's a
fun.
third level spell
I had
that
a
you had
great
access
time.
to way too
I had
early.
a good time, and that's what matters.
yeah.
And Cameron had developed a lot of like plant voices. But I think that like I think barbarian can be a great starter if you flavor it correctly. But I agree with like fighter and like monk. Like I'm playing a monk in another campaign right now, and I can't imagine that being my first playthrough. I think druid is really fun.
Our
to
monk's
start
the
with.
worst.
Maybe.
Our
Maybe
monk's the worst. I think they might be.
they get really cool, but I feel like it's a long game. Like you're
Yeah.
playing to level up.
But we got to get people. We got to rope people in.
Okay. Let's develop a ban list and a yes list.
Ooh,
I think we ban rogue personally.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Purely because I think it attracts strange folk who want to be like very edgy
Edgelords.
or
Yeah.
like very annoying role playing wise.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I think
That's a good. Yes.
That's a good reason.
I think we ban monk. I think fighter is okay because I wouldn't recommend it, but I don't think we ban it because I feel like
You could be an Eldritch Knight too.
Yeah.
That might be nice.
Mm.
and fighters can do a lot of stuff now.
Yeah. Having that feeling of getting like two swings pretty early.
But I think you
Is
have
nice.
to. I think the DM in that situation needs to really guide whoever's playing the fighter of like developing a good. I just think it can be too broad for some people. Like being really intentional about like what type of fighter are you and how is that gonna like impact your choices, so they don't just feel like they're playing themselves. Like it can be
Right.
easier to play a character if you have a class that's more like
encourage
out there.
an interesting. Yeah.
On the other side, I think we ban sorcerer.
Yes. Agreed.
I think sorcerer is the most complicated class,
Yeah.
yeah.
and maybe warlock.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should probably play a different character before you play one of those.
Yeah. Warlock is fun, but I found it's harder. It takes a lot of like thought of what makes the most sense. And like, it's not as like clear cut of like, this is like a good path to go. There's so many options and ways you can take it. It's just a lot.
That being said, warlock is one of the easier classes to role play, I think, because you have a built-in backstory,
That's true.
and it gives the DM a lot to work with.
Yeah. And like
you kind
hex,
of become part of the plot no matter what.
hex blades are really
Right.
cool. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
warlock
there's
is
so
like
many cool things.
maybe closest to not being banned on the ban list.
Yeah.
I still want to ban it. We have to ban some.
Yeah.
And then
banning sorcerer is good.
Yeah.
Banning monk is good.
and rogue.
And rogue is good.
I feel strongly about rogue. I think for the good list, bard is like my number one recommendation because
Yeah.
you're good at everything.
Yeah.
You're not bad at anything, which is like one of the best things about it.
I'd say
in
the
my
same
opinion.
about druids. I think druids are, I mean, they're pretty like, I do feel like druids, wasn't one of David's takes that druids were overpowered? Or did I make that up?
I think you might have made that up.
Okay. Well, I do think that druids are like pretty powerful.
Druids are the strongest class in D&D
Yeah.
because of
And
wild
everyone
shape.
loves it because, like, people coming in, everyone loves animals. Like, you have
Yeah.
it. Like, no one's like, oh, I don't like nature.
Yeah. Again, a clear backstory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, druid. Yes, bard. Yes, paladin.
Mhm.
Another easy one to roleplay.
Yeah, you can. Seeing someone's eyes light up the first time that they smite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. So we're banning
Cleric? How do we feel
Right.
about cleric? I feel like
not first time.
Cleric's a
Especially
full
if you're
caster.
a woman. I feel like it sucks. It
Oh.
tends to happen, and I think that it can like be really fun, but I also think that like there's this pressure, not pressure, but I just think that like naturally, like, not to jump on this whole thing, but
I'm
I
down.
do.
I'm down.
Yeah, I
You
think
spent your whole turn helping me.
I just think that naturally, like, and I almost like I feel like wanting to like help and be the healer, but I think that like there can be this not expectation, but like silent, like, I don't know. I guess I just feel like that can often get placed on women, and I think that like, not that if that's what you want to do, I think that's awesome, and if that's what you like naturally gravitate towards,
Yeah.
but I think that shouldn't be like pushed on a first time player.
So Paris's new take is that
No,
all
no,
women should
no.
play melee characters
No,
and men
that's-
should play the support characters.
That's not the take. The
TikTok
take is-
clip.
no, we're gonna get
No.
it removed.
I agree. I agree. That,
You know what I
that-
mean?
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And people always say don't make it political, but everything is political, everybody.
I thought you were going to say something after that.
Yeah, me too. I thought there was more.
No.
Cool.
I'm just letting the TikTok comments rain down.
No.
Women should not play clerics.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying I don't think they should be pressured to play clerics, and I think that can happen, not consciously sometimes.
Let me tell you what I think you're saying.
Cleric. Well, yeah, no, when I play, I've told this story, I think, but I went to like play at a game shop in like when I had just moved to a new city, and like turns out it was just like me and some kids playing, which was like kind of funny. But I was playing a cleric, and I had a spell, Guiding Bolt, that I knew was gonna do double damage to the person that it's like the monster we were fighting. And I knew that I could eviscerate it, but one of my party members was down, and it was a kid, and I was like, do I want to just end the fight and like have like a cool moment for myself while I'm playing with a bunch of like middle schoolers, or should I like heal this child? And I healed the
Your
child.
motherly instincts took over.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, what do we
Motherly.
think? Do we agree? Do we agree with my original take that new players should not play fighters and monks and barbarians and rogues?
I agree. I just love barbarians. I think they're so fun.
I
But I
think
see what you're saying.
out of all of them, I think barbarian is the
Most on the
the-
edge.
bad. The only reason I'm not including rogues is because I think rogues can do a lot outside of combat, like picking locks and like sneaking and stuff. But you're falling into a trap. Don't role play as a rogue your first time.
I agree with that. Okay, I agree.
Disagree.
No, you don't.
Do whatever you want.
Do whatever you want.
Have fun.
I think it's that the recommendation
you're
should
gonna
be, right?
you're gonna if you can't buy
I'm saying
in,
it should
it's
be
not gonna
banned.
happen.
Oh.
And you should. I feel like I have found very naturally the classes that you kind of learn what you want to play and what you don't want to play based
Yeah.
off what other people are playing too.
Yeah. Woolsey's taking the
Also,
people
a lot of
pleaser
people-
route.
A lot of people are starting at the same time.
Yes.
It's very rare. It's not like, you can't all be bards.
But don't you think if you were a fighter and you were looking at you were looking around the table and you're like at a table with bards and druids and they're all first time players, wouldn't you be like, oh, I got the short end of the stick a little bit?
No, I would second wind and I would I would take 3 attacks and I would crit on 17, 18, 19, and 20.
But if that's the kind of game you want to play, if you want to play that game.
I do
and
think
I've min-maxed as well.
I do think that people put a lot of well, this is a take for another day, actually. I won't say it. Woolsey, it's your turn. What is your take?
I also have a multi-tiered
Oh my God.
cake.
Oh, a take cake.
Has to have at least 3 then.
Shit. Okay, we're going to start off with the cake layer. And then there's
Okay.
2 layers of this cake. So this is the cake layer.
What's the next one?
Little-
Icing?
That's one layered cake.
No, that's 2 layers. Okay. First one, con modifier.
Mm.
Your con modifier should be added to death saves.
Ah.
How do we feel?
What happens if it's like a -1 and then you roll a nat 1 and you actually get a 0? Do you just die?
Yes.
I like it.
No, I think it functions as a nat 1. I
Is
don't think a
there
2
any-
-1 functions as a nat 1.
Is there a world in which someone who is not playing the kind of game we play could make it so that they never can die?
Yes, absolutely.
And how many people would take advantage of that? Like, should there be a cap
No,
on the
because
con?
that is why the natural 1 is there. Because there's always it is a critical fail.
but
Still
you would have
in
to
this system.
roll
It's a critical fail,
2.
and hold on, because what's that? We're getting to the frosting.
Oh no.
All right.
Oh, no.
This is what my take started out as, and then I thought that the con modifier one was better. But death saves should be harder or easier depending on each save.
Mm.
If a character is dying but going to be okay, it shouldn't be a 50-50 shot each roll story-wise. Your first roll is a DC 10. You need a 10 to succeed. If you succeed, next time, it's a DC 8. The time after that, it's a DC 6.
Mm.
And that's 3 successes in a row. So it goes plus 2 or
Yeah.
-2, depending on if you fail or succeed.
Hmm.
If you fail the first time, things are not looking good. You have a mortal wound. You are dying.
Mm.
DC 12, then DC 14. And then the thing that balances this is your con modifier. And everyone knows kind of Constitution's really your HP,
Yeah.
and then it's con saves. And that's it. And you
Yeah.
don't even use, like, that's what it is. It is your Constitution. It's your, health, and you should be rewarded for giving yourself more Constitution in a very small way on death saves. And so I like if I was going to have one rule, it would be the con modifier on death saves. And if you roll 2 nat 1s, you're dead. But yeah.
I like. So to Paris's point on could you make your character immortal? I think like yeah, the nat ones always exist, but also when you like, you're not gonna like get to like a +9.
It's only +5, right? You wouldn't be proficient in it's not a skill, it's your con.
It's your con. Are you adding your con modifier or your con save modifier?
Con modifier.
Then yeah, it would
you
only
can't
get
get
up
higher.
to a
It would just be
Unless
+5.
you have some sort of character trait that gives you something that adds to it. I don't know if that's a thing.
It's not a thing in this cake.
So,
Not in
Well,
this
so
recipe.
I guess the only thing, it's a death saving throw. Yeah, I don't know. I think either way, even if you theoretically could get up to like a +9 on your con modifier, that would be not till like pretty late game.
Mhm.
And then once you're there are already a lot of ways to get
up.
around doing death saves in the first place. Like, there's like
Yeah.
power word kill.
Yeah.
There's like other like disintegrate. There's like ways to just straight up die.
Yeah.
Like the stakes are way higher.
Mhm.
And the DM can always, like, I don't know, do a magical item that has those properties or something like that if they feel, you know, the DM can balance as needed. But I think it doesn't make sense that everyone has a 50-50 shot, you know, even slightly better than 50-50 shot of coming back up when they go down.
I like your tiered system the most. I do like the con modifier, but I really like the idea that it's tiered, and I think it kind of lends itself well to, again, I don't think I'm making this up, but I could be Tanner. Did Tanner have a take about being able to choose the type of damage you do? Was that Tanner? Or was it David? Like where you do the damage if you roll like a nat 20 or something. I think that pairs really nicely with this of like, if you're thinking about a tiered system, like if someone rolls a nat 20 against you and stabs you in the heart, you're going to start with maybe a higher check that you have to pass for your death save because you've been stabbed in the heart. Do you know what I mean? So you're starting at a disadvantage. So the tiered system could get like really specific with it.
True.
I think that's
interesting.
That system sounds like huge arguments at the table because suddenly the DMs is deciding how mortal your wounds is and they're setting a DC.
But that's only on a nat 20 attack.
Yeah. It's only, you're kind of choosing how likely it is that a character would die. I think that this system is easy to understand. It's the same every time. And more likely than not, you're going to succeed, then you have a DC 8, you might fail, it might go back to a 10, like that.
So I think that this makes sense. I kind of like your addition to it, Paris, and it makes me think that like there should be, like, the way that the combat system is right now, I feel like is made, it doesn't make a ton of sense. And I think it's made for like people to, it's already pretty complicated, but it's not too complicated for people to like get into and understand.
Mm-hmm.
But like there should be a better, more complicated option that would improve. Like, I think that somebody being able to like decide where they stab somebody and have that have a different effect than like where they than stabbing other parts of the body would make combat so much more interesting and so much more engaging and like so much more strategic instead of just like, okay, I do 10 points of damage. Now I do 5 points of damage. Now I do like 8 points of damage. And then you just have to whittle them all the way down to 0. I think there should be like a more complicated option that's like very thought out for like people who want to like learn it very well.
Yeah,
and I think that this take Woolsey would fall into that a little bit.
It almost offers like the opportunity too of like, you're probably encouraging more side quests and role play if like someone has like, you've won but you've lost a limb, and like how are you going to take care of that? Like it's not just like automatically you're fine. Like maybe each day you're losing a certain number of hit points because you have a limb that's like not like covered, you know, like so like more like higher stakes and more like after battle, like not just we killed a bunch of people and now we walk away and we're fine, you know?
Yeah, so I guess we're all in agreement.
Yeah. I think for me, it falls into the. I think I've always been I've never been a fan of the D&D combat system, and I think that it needs to be changed. I think that this would be a step towards making it. How do you feel about secret death saves?
I almost brought it up, and I thought we'd get into more weeds. I think that this would lend itself way better with secret death saves.
You think so?
Because your mind is racing. Like, if someone goes down, this frankly, like, makes it more likely, like, that someone would die.
Yeah.
And if you didn't know
How
close they were, or at least require a perception check as like a action or bonus action or something, because like constantly being like, how do they look? Yeah. Kind of takes away the stakes too, like checking in with how, if someone's alive or not. There should be more risk if you're like, I have to go after the monster, even though this person's down.
Yeah.
It would raise the stakes. So I like it paired with, maybe that's the ice cream on the side.
I do. I like the idea of also, like, with the secret death saves also requiring a perception check.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of that. I love that.
Yeah. Like as a bonus action or something, like requiring you to use a bonus, not waste it, but like to use up a bonus action to figure out how somebody's doing.
Yeah, and if you're not close enough to them, like having to like move or like have disadvantage on that check, depending on like, are you going to take the time to go see? Like, you can't just do it from wherever you are. I think there's cool stuff with that.
Yeah, or if you do potions as bonus actions, like that's another choice you have to make.
Yeah. True. All right.
Wow.
I agree with this. Paris, do you agree?
I agree. I like that take. It took us on a journey.
Yeah.
Just like any good campaign. And we will
stop getting political.
Sorry, guys. And we will now vote for hottest take.
It's hot.
David's take was that what was it?
That you shouldn't make your character like super, what's the word for it?
No meta building.
No meta building.
Yeah.
Paris had two takes. You got to pick one for hottest take consideration.
I forgot my own takes.
It was new players.
I think no maps is the hotter take.
Yeah.
For new players.
My take was that ban fighter, barbarian, rogue, monk. Ranger's okay, but ban those four for new players. And Woolsey, what was your take?
I'm gonna brand it. It's got a name now. The system of it being harder or easier and stacking on top of each other for each save is now called bleeding out.
Oh, and it's like every time you fail, it's like another organ fails in your body.
Yep.
Isn't bleeding out, can't you like cause that effect?
Yeah. But this is capital B bleeding out.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
And also isn't that just called like gaping wounds?
That's right. Yeah, you're right.
Gaping wound.
Mm.
And you like bleed. That's the mechanic, but I don't think it's called that. Anyway, we'll vote for whose take is the hottest. Let's all think about it for a second. All right. I'll go first. No, Paris will go first. Then I'll say it. Then we'll say it. Everyone ready?
Yeah.
In 3, 2, 1.
Austin.
Paris.
Paris wins.
Cool.
The second. Who won the first one?
David, I think.
Oh yeah. Paris wins the second. Hottest Ragebait.
Yay.
Congrats.
I hope everyone's pissed.
Oh, everyone's enraged. This has been D&D Ragebait. I don't know when this is coming out. So Have a good September/October.
We should have a Ragebait song.
Ooh, think about it.
Yes. I've thought about it.
You
And
thought
this is
about
what it
anything
sounds like. Committed. Boom. Play it out.
And it'll be the outro music. Have a good time listening to next week's episode, whatever it is. Hopefully, we'll be
A good time in general.
Yeah, we'll get to more consistent campaign stuff soon. So, goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.